Let me tell y'all about it. Welcome to the Pot and Politics Podcast. I'm your host, Sean G's Waters. We are here for episode 7, which I have entitled Fuck It All. So anyway, I'm here with the crew. Sound off if y'all would.
Christian,
Rocky.
Patrick,
Ian.
Jennifer.
How's everybody doing this week?
Good.
fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
All right, so we have special guests in the building today, Patrick Templeton.
Hello.
He knows a whole bunch of shit that most of us don't know, especially that I really don't know, because everybody knows I'm just your favorite fucking smoker. Speaking of which, let me get out the way. Challenge is out. Anyone thinks I'm full of shit or that thinks they can outsmoke me, holla at me. We can prove this shit. We can do it on camera. We can do it, face to face. Any way you want to do it, I don't care. But it's one rule to know. I don't smoke no bullshit. Just so you know. Anyway. My man Patrick is here. He's going to drop some knowledge on y'all because there's some people out here that's getting fucked, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, truly, man. I guess I'll start a little bit with a little introduction because I'm kind of just making myself known to the public face and eye here very recently, honestly. I am Patrick Templeton. I run and create a company called 540 Grow. I think it was October 2021. It was shortly after Virginia legalized, and I wanted to do what the state will promise that they were going to allow growers and cultivators like us to do, which is to grow. And it's now fucking Sunday, October 2024. And we're so behind the ball that, native tribes in North Carolina are cultivating and selling before we, as a Commonwealth, can. Messed up. But I've been running that for a while. I actually just got, not really hired, but I am now partner with Zumia Collective because I've been growing their shit and doing really well with that. And then also I've been running a family farm in Rafine, Virginia I just turned 34. Me and my twin sister did. So I guess I started walking when I was, I don't fucking know, 2, and I was able to carry wood when I was 4 or 5. And then I started working at Wade's Mill immediately after that. All the copper in the floor, or most of it, is copper patches that I did. That's why they're fucking terrible. But, the main reason, I guess, why I'm here is to talk about the recent lottery for HSA 1, the Health Service Area Number 1. This is the area that we are going to be served in.
Okay.
Right? And it goes, trying to remember, Rockbridge County, southern border, going across, I think all the way to the Bay, the southern border,
Okay.
and that goes to West Virginia. So you have, I think, Rappahannock area. And then it goes, West Virginia border all the way up. And then DC has a little exclave for themselves because they have so many people up there. I can't remember what their number is, but it is separate. But I was working at Jackpot 777. And now Mike Tabor, who works there, I believe, has started another company called Integra Vertical. Because our plan while we were there was to make a completely vertically integrated company in the state of Virginia, because that's what Virginia was, what we were talking with through not only VDAX and the CCA, but I also talk with NRCS and USDA and FBI all the time, and that's exactly, hello girl, that's exactly what they wanted. So when I was let go for reasons I won't get into right now, nothing nefarious, just not really even a morality issue, but just an issue with how stuff was being managed at the farm. And I have a real hard time people telling me shit that is obviously not true and so hypothetical that it just borders on the fucking insane. I'm crazy enough. I don't need any more of that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when we put, I think it was $18,000, which, I mean, for that organization, it's not a whole lot because
Before we I hate to interrupt you, man.
No, you're good.
Before we get too far down this road, I just wanted people that are listening, what we're getting into is the application process for the license for Virginia for integrated operations, including like the cultivation of cannabis, the production of cannabis products, the how to dispense it, how we're going to, and all these things have taken, we've talked about it before. The current administration has decided that none of those things are going to cross the desk, so we're sitting in limbo on a lot of those things. The application process, on the other hand, has already started. And like he just mentioned, I think it was processing is what you guys were.
That was what AIR was given. And I think that was the one that was available.
An $18,000 fee, non-refundable fee.
Right.
So if you get turned down,
and I might be wrong on that number. I'm not.
No, I just actually Googled it and to back check. And yes, it indeed is $18,000 that you don't get back. So, I want to get into the meat and potatoes of why we have you here. So tell us what happened with that. What you found out about that. What you found out about how that process is not necessarily fair for Virginia.
And how is it different than what was supposed to happen? Like that's
Yeah,
what
right,
I'm confused
yeah,
about.
right.
Like
I'm going to say this.
when we voted in like whatever year to legalize weed, that didn't it give us until like 2024 to get all this stuff set up?
Yeah,
and
it was supposed to be happening
so, like,
already.
Yeah, it's
Can you,
supposed to.
like, tell
Everything's
us-
supposed to be finalized. We, as not even med card holders, but just regular Commonwealth citizens of the state
Yeah.
of Virginia, should not only be able to go into any dispensary, but we should be able to go in our fucking hometown. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Like
As a farmer, I'm definitely
Right, like
absolutely
the farmer's
100%
market or
should
something.
be
So,
able
like,
to take
right.
my things to the farm.
I'm a medical card holder, and that's what I can tell you. That shit ain't worth a fuck, other than unless you're in a city where you just don't know nobody where you can cop some weed, and if you happen to be out of town and you get pulled over holding some weed.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's it. Like,
Yeah.
and this is all homegrown Virginia bud right here. Like
Indoor
this
or
is
outdoor?
this is indoor. This stuff on top, which is the stuff that I bred with my buddy Defiant Rooster. That's got the wild feral tie. And
all right,
then
hold on. I want you to hold up on that point.
I know we're
Yeah.
Because we
getting way
got a
ahead.
part
Yep.
to that where we get to, but we want to finish
let's
this whole
finish-
cipher.
Let's go back to
So,
the.
yeah. All right. So where do you want to start on it?
Oh my god.
You want to start where we try to apply?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Let us know about the pitfalls that you found
I'm
and
so sorry.
and the how the process went for you, what you found out.
All right.
Because
This is going to be piecemeal because I had other people working with us and for us.
Yes, yeah.
Our lawyer team, CCA, BDAX.
Absolutely.
The only people who were really on top of their game was us and our lawyers because we know what the hell is about to happen. We want to give Virginia tax money.
which again, extremely expensive process.
Right.
Have lawyers.
So,
I mean,
so especially so at Jackpot, it wasn't really an issue because not to say like there was all the money in the world, but just with our investors at the time is like, well, anything is possible. But the state's not playing the game. But the thing was, when we were talking to the CCA,
And the
Which in the
CCA.
CCA is what now?
the Cannabis Control Authority,
Oh,
it should be
okay.
VACCA,
Okay,
really, but it's
okay.
here it's CCA.
Okay, so similar to like the ABC for liquor.
Yeah, kind of similar.
Okay, okay.
And VDAX used to be in most control of that, and VDOX is like, no, we already do too much. They do agricultural work. And one of the major pitfalls is that the state just doesn't look at the. I won't go into the whole hemp versus cannabis thing. They're the same fucking plant.
Right.
Like, look at the fucking DNA. It's the same shit. But anyway, so when we applied, it was me, our head cultivator that I brought on board, who was part of 5 for Grow, and he asked to leave the company recently because he's worried about like not even being able to grow potential bud there. It's not like an issue of who's there at the farm or whatever, but literally, if you're trying to get ag tax and insurance, agricultural insurance, if you're playing by the legal rule by that, if you're growing enough to where you think you need insurance, you can't grow the same crop on the same plot after 2 years. You have to cycle, which is good. No, people look at that as an issue, but that's good conservation practice. You must charge the soil after you deplete it.
Do
and it keeps
they
the
make
pest-
that
the pest
same-
guessing,
Yeah,
too.
like
It's
oh
also-
man, like my
crop
favorite thing is
rotation
Ryan
actually a
Goldenrod.
good
You just
thing.
dump that shit on there.
Yeah,
All right,
no, I mean
I'm
crop
sorry.
rotation is definitely very great for conservation, but I'm just wondering. Just this is a question. When I was grew up on a farm, it was in upstate New York. But what's the Virginia law? Does that same rule apply to corn and other crops? Do they have that same?
I'm
Are
pretty
they
sure.
treating cannabis the same way as
No,
other crops?
absolutely not. I have to go through a FBI check every year in order to grow hemp, and it's not even psychoactive.
No, but
Right,
what she's asking is the rotation of crops.
Right.
I don't
Oh, the
actually. Well,
rotation
here's
of
my
crops.
personal situation. I can't. This answer I will give you may not be 100% factual, just because I don't 100% know.
Okay.
But through my process with Farm Bureau Insurance, which honestly they were great. The rep that we had out there was super awesome. She was super cool and excited because I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but when people would come to Jackpot and I took them to the back field to show them where our outdoor plot is, it's like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Where is this plot? Like, it's at the base of Afton Mountain. It's like a holy site, truly. And it's also right next to the Green Fund Chemical EPA Superfund site, which is not really a big issue. One of the things I was trying to do there was conservation work,
Yeah.
but I can get into that later. But when we applied, we were told no MSOs. And I think that was through VDAX because at the
MSO?
multi-state organization.
Okay.
somebody.
That means
honest-
like
big corporations, but
Okay,
also like.
okay,
But here's the thing,
okay.
because they were touting, he's like, "Oh, we want to keep it in state. We want to keep it to where people are local." And
Well,
this
and it's
is,
because it's still federally
But
now.
but also it makes sense.
So
Why?
Colta,
Why
so
would?
Colta ends up cornering the whole market for 4 states?
Yeah,
together.
yeah. Like
That's
what
ridiculous.
Air
Okay,
Wellness, the
okay.
people Air Wellness who kind of tout that they're from Florida, they're fucking not. Their home base is out in New York. That's what their LinkedIn profile says anyway. I've been talking mad shit about them because they keep posting that they won the lottery, which I guess is kind of true. But if the lottery is fraud, it's truly fraudulent, and there's been no public discourse or conversation about it since that happened. Man, I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but something is fishy about
Interesting.
Yeah,
that.
something definitely is. And what it really steps on is when the equity. They keep pushing
Right,
pushing
right.
the equity part out. Every state's doing it. They when they start talking about it, it's forefront. And then by the time it ends up being, it seems like that too. If there's less permits than they're saying, it's not only hurting people with money, it's hitting people at the
Have
back
you
end of that
looked
who
at
maybe took everything they had in their lives to get that permit.
Have you looked at the not recent because it happened last year, I think, but have you looked at the actual Virginia state law, like what they're proposing to change on it? All that language is being cut out. All that language is being cut out. Man, like I'm gonna say this: I suffer from Asperger's. They call it on the autism scale. I fucking read like crazy. I actually haven't read a hardcover book in probably 10 years. I'm on the internet all the time because that's a human right for for information. That's
Yeah, yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
world and the humanities library.
Yeah.
And if you know where to go and you're
Yeah.
willing, especially if you're dealing with, let me tell you, some federal and state shit, y'all need to fucking make that shit easier.
Yeah. Well, for sure. Yeah.
It's just the red tape.
Yeah.
They like the problem that I had with Jackpot. I think the reason I was really let go when they were hiring us, they really didn't want us to like work with other farms too much. They wanted to keep us essentially. That's my feeling on it. But the problem is like my company 54 Grow is a consultation business.
Okay.
Like we got that job because we went over there and we kind of like fucking blew their minds because they thought they had a huge bug infestation. They just weren't watering their stuff enough. And I'm not saying they were doing a bad job.
Sure.
When you've got a new crew of people coming in. Oh, and I did Moss paperwork. Yeah, I don't remember what the actual federal program is, but we went through Moss to do H2A stuff to get people up here.
Uh-huh.
Like one of our plans was to like really bring people from grassroots up.
Yeah.
Because that's what I feel like. Like, my family's very land rich, cash poor. And, we've been fucked by the federal government many times. My dad fucking worked at Woody Chevrolet in Lexington, Virginia. He was a GM, Mr. Goodwrench, for like 30 years and service department manager for 15. And the feds shut his shit down. And that was right when I was going to school. But that's why I don't have a college education. That's why me getting a job at Jackpot was a blessing because it was one of the first times. I was also a federal worker, postal service, and I was fired from that because they couldn't take my bullshit. I mean, I wasn't easy to work with, but also they were getting me to try to do illegal shit that my union wasn't.
Like, what do you think
Hold on.
needs
Yeah.
to change? Like, so
I'm sorry I'm rambling
Yeah,
on.
how do we address? I'm with
so,
Jennifer
like,
on this.
how
Do we lobby? Do we? How do we?
I'm trying to lobby right now,
What
and
is
they
it-
won't entertain a party.
And you showed me that you've been emailing.
I wanted to make sure
You've
before
been
I started
emailing the
talking
right
shit
people
about that.
too. You've been emailing the right people, and I see where you haven't gotten any replies. We talked about before you came on the show. It's super frustrating. For the whole business to sit in limbo. Only 5 licenses exist in the state right now. If anyone knows, there are 5 dispensaries, but they are huge multi-million-dollar companies. And
where
and
did
quite
those
honestly, it's just like getting Kmart cannabis to me.
where do those dispensaries
It
exist?
fills a
Where
gap, and that's about it.
Everywhere besides HSA 1.
Richmond, Lynchburg, Roanoke, they deliver everywhere. There's
Winchester.
the one in Richmond delivers to a
Not for
hotel
long.
parking
All the way
lot
up
right
to
through from my
Charlottesville.
house.
Not for long. They're thinking
one in
about giving
Richmond.
up the delivery system too.
So
So
doesn't
now,
it-
like HSA 1
That's how
is
much
gonna.
money they're making.
Well, that's not a lot of money.
They charge $25 a delivery.
but they're not taxing
My
it.
God,
They're not
people-
taxing it that much. The
people do
state's not
do
making
not
any money on
support
the
these
delivery.
dispensaries until there's a real
Give or take.
a real,
Give or take.
You know,
Most of them are around that.
find a
Around
farmer, find a friend. People grow more than they can smoke.
Right.
so
The move is growing collectives locally.
Collectives, man.
Why?
See, but
does-
let me speak
Collectives,
on.
there's
Let me
some great
speak on
ones in
this.
this area. Just look and see that speakeasy style. People are still scared because the laws have us
And-
all
and let me-
paranoid still, but just find your local collective, man, and just keep it community.
That's
Yeah,
where
because all of the
that's where
dispensaries-
our clubs come into play,
That's where our
man.
clubs come
That's
into
where
play.
our clubs come into play.
Absolutely.
Christian here runs one out of Churchville. I just went there for the first time. It was a fucking blast.
Right on.
And then my place, I've got a really cool old school spot in Lexington where we operate legally 100%. It's not a pop up. We don't sell bud. We're literally just trying to be able.
knowledge, man.
Yeah,
Right.
And community.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, welcome back to the Pot and Politics Podcast. I'm your host, Sean G's Waters, and we have reached that time where we will talk about that gas that we've been smoking. And you know we do not smoke no trash. So if you want to submit your shit, you better make sure that bitch hit. You know what I mean? This week, we have been smoking on the Gun Hill Gold. And I'm going to turn it over to my man Christian and Patrick, who actually grew this. Patrick grew this, so I'm gonna let these guys tell y'all more about this Gun Hill Gold that we puffing on. Gentlemen, you
I'll
have the
start
stage.
with it.
Yeah, let Patrick
All right,
talk,
so,
man. I'm sitting there on
In 2022, I grew a 20-foot tall crowing Cruia cut number 3. It's a plant straight lifted from the northmost Thai national park in Thailand. And I've got the GPS coordinates for it. If you go to ZamiaCollective.com and look at cut number 3, it will show you on the interwebs the GPS site. So I got that shit. I thought the big thing was a boy because it was growing so fast. No, the other ones that I had in my greenhouse, the when I call them the beautiful bouncing girls, they were actually all boys in disguise, and they dropped balls and they pollinated my shit in 3 days. Really impressive. But that's exactly what I wanted, just not in that way. I wanted to control it indoors. You know, wasn't trying to pollinate all my neighbors' shit. But the only reason my neighbors were growing shit is because I gave them seeds. So it's like, you know. But anyway, so Thai gold is half that mixed with 24 karat gold. I only call it that because the real name of it is Jews gold, and it's kind of weird talking about weed like that. People are just like, oh, that, you know. But anyway, so it's that, and then from Fabian at Bigfoot Genetics comes the Wedding Cake Purple Punch, and that's something I didn't really want to grow at first. No, not that I didn't want to grow it, but normally something modern like that doesn't interest me too much. And I ended up popping them anyway because I heard it was really good, and I saw photos and it looked amazing. It's like, fuck yeah, I'll do this. And then Fabi was showing me photos. It's like, you should grow this. It's like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to do this shit. And then got a boy back, pollinated our I'll call it indica. I like using broadleaf drug and narrowleaf drug. So a BLD, indica, a BLD plant. And then, it was 2 kind of somewhat accidental, not really pollen chucks because I don't like using that term. But yeah,
So you said that a tendency for indicas to have broader leaves than sativas.
Yeah, but in the modern times where everything that we usually smoke on the continent is hybrid of some sort,
there is no true indica.
And it's
that's what I was going to say.
It's so mixed up that it's hard to tell.
It's hard
like
to isolate for sure.
like
It's just dominant. That's it. It's a sativa or indica dominant these days.
but the thing is, it looks dominant. The terpene load could be extremely different because now you have this great marriage of genetics.
And the terpene, terpene studies are so new and fresh, and we're going to find out more and more about that as the entourage effect with the THC and CBD. But also, I've found that we talk about couch lock. You were talking about indica, but I've had some sativas that I let go long, and it starts to break down.
Yeah,
and it has couch lock effect.
Mhm.
You feel,
But that's
very
very awesome feeling.
brain
effect, though.
busy. But yeah,
let me give y'all this.
Yeah.
Let me give y'all this. And I mean, you can feel free to disagree with me, but
No,
I would
you
say
good.
you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Any good weed, any good fucking solid weed will give you that couch lock. It's just whether it's gonna be a body buzz with it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the
Or-
same way.
That's it, man.
Yeah, it's
like
gonna take some time from me. If
Absolutely.
I say it's really good.
Yeah.
Usually.
so. Now that we've got to that, let's go ahead and grade
I
this
will
shit.
say this. This is some. I'll start this off. You don't
You got
mind.
it? Go ahead.
It's really pretty. It's a really gorgeous bud. It's sticky. You can see a lot of crystals on it. Big nodes. I like the look of it. I always know when it's gold, has kind of a gold look to it, that it's going to be something that I like. I like having the background to it. I like that it is a landrace preservation project Those are things that are important as cannabis has grown. It's really gone towards cookies and runts and a lot of flavors that are now part of everything. And it's good to get back to what we used to smoke. You know, I mentioned I'm an older man, so I remember some Land O'Lakes strains, and I want to go back. So onto this. This gives me that old school feeling. This gives me the old school flavor. It kind of has maybe a bit of a burnt rubber with tea. I get some tea to it. It's a wonderful taste, floral side. I'm high as shit. I feel like tingly from it. It's cool. It's a little psychedelic even.
Ooh.
Upbeat. I don't know. It's I really like it. It's a great job, man. I'm totally giving this a Stony. This is what you get when you have someone that really is passionate about the plant behind what you're smoking. And it's a wonderful thing. It's a lot better than your plug, man. I'm telling you, find a guy that has passion and smoke his weed. So,
and in case you didn't know, a Stony is top of the line for us.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it the top of the line.
Thank y'all.
It's
All right, so Ian, what's your take?
I'm not straying from that. It's definitely Stony. Tasted great, looked great, and Patrick definitely put in the work.
So what am I looking at right here?
These are the trichomes. So what I just pulled out is the
As far as
outdoor
for
one.
myself,
Yeah.
as far as for myself too, I was on borderline between punchy and Stony, but the more that I smoke it and the more it sets in, I'm more on the Stony side of it as far as the way it looked, tasted, you know, the presentation, what it comes from, you know, just knowing that not a lot of people have access to smoke it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it a Stony, and that's our take on this week's Gun Hill Gold. So we're gonna take a break, and after the break we'll be back with our segment from A Little Warrior Speaks from Shandon McGuffin. Y'all take it easy and hold tight. We'll be back.
Hey, Pots and Politics followers and viewers and supporters and anybody else that joins on to listen to the last podcast. I am super excited to give some Little Warrior comments and encouragement. I want to tell you that I left this shirt on this morning because I want to say I have enough faith in the people, the true people of the country, to do what's right in this political climate. We are in a fight of our life, and it's not just the federal and national election. Y'all come home, come close, come close, come close, come close. Look at who your local uh, board of supervisors, your school boards, your city council, who are sitting in some of your key places in your locale for your city and your counties. And just are they modeling? Are they actually representing your views? Are they actually representing you in a way that your children are getting what they need? Because our children can't vote. Our children can't vote. And so it's up to us as adults to make sure that we are making the right decisions for our political candidates and getting to know them, asking them questions, challenging them, finding out what they intend to do once elected. And so that when you vote, you have an educated vote. And I share this so vividly for you because we are in the fight of our lives and everything matters. Everything matters. And I thank Sean for allowing me to come and just give a few minutes of encouraging. Get out and vote. Get out and work for those local politicians and those candidates. They need you. They need your support. throw some money at them. They need your support. But look at who's around you locally and see who's making decisions, because those people are impacting your life every single day. Okay? So thank you all for listening to A Little Warrior, and I will see you next time.
Welcome back to the Pot and Politics Podcast. I'm your host, Sean G's Waters. We are back and in full fucking effect. Oh my God, it feels free and good to be with my peoples on a Sunday like we supposed to be, getting high and talking this shit.
Outside.
So anyway, y'all know I've been sitting on this shit for days. God damn it, I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say. Matter of fact, with no disrespect to y'all, you know I love y'all. Rocky. Waltz, Vance, Tango, aka the debate.
It feels like forever ago. For
I mean,
Tell me,
the
tell
biggest
'em about it.
takeaway from the debate is when you ask, well, why do we have fact checkers? Because y'all said y'all weren't going to have fact checkers. You already know everything old boy talking about is going to be bullshit. From the rooter to the tutor, it wasn't nothing but some bullshit.
All right, now let me pause you right there, okay? Because from the first 10 minutes, I think, of this debate, I need to know. I don't even need to know the exact numbers, okay? I don't, y'all. I just need to know the numbers that this motherfucker was saying as far as rapists and murderers that were let into this country. Are they anywhere close to true?
absolutely not.
No, it's just more fear mongering from the right. I mean, that's what
I
they
mean,
do.
they're talking about like
Right.
16,000 murderers.
If
Absolutely
Those numbers
not.
are inflated, just like
Right.
everything.
Yeah, it's inflated because as long as they know, as long as they can keep their, you know what I'm saying, their base in
Yeah, but I mean,
fear, and then they can make these
well,
false promises that they're going to clean it up when there's actually nothing to clean up. And then they perhaps get into office, and then they be like, since we've been in office, this went, well, no, motherfucker, it didn't go down because it was never that high to begin with.
Right.
okay, see, now,
Right.
now that's the part, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared about that. You know,
Right.
like 16,000 motherfucking murderers?
No,
Like, you know, a lot of
Right.
gangbangers,
How is that
drug dealers,
Okay,
gangbangers.
That's
let
like
me
it's technically five.
ask the common sense question. Let me ask the common sense question.
Give me the common sense part.
How the fuck do you know they were murderers when they got here? Like, did you stop
Did they murder?
16,000
See, and
people
that's-
and figure out that they, he murdered somebody?
That's what I was
somewhere?
trying to figure out.
How
Like,
do you know
y'all
that
got
they're murderers?
16,000
So where
missing
you get-
motherfuckers?
Did you
From
take a poll
somewhere?
and say, have you murdered somebody? And you came up with 16,000 motherfuckers
Right,
and said
right.
yes.
They drug
Pretty sure
bodies.
that didn't happen.
Each of them
Right.
had
Yeah,
a body
that's what I'm
and,
saying. Like, I need to know where these numbers is coming from. Like, is it
Out of his
16,000
head.
missing
Right.
murderers?
Out of his
And you
ass.
just
Let's-
automatically
let's
saying
also-
that they're in
let's also
America?
say they think it's 26 million that are illegal in this country.
It's not even
as
26 million
opposed to
people.
Maybe 14. You know,
they
at
double.
best.
They double all the numbers.
Right.
You know, it's so 16,000. You know, and again, how do you even
Right.
know? It's a ridiculous argument.
And you know, and I looked into those numbers actually, and it was like there was no way to actually have that number because the Border Patrol does not keep in touch with local jails, and the people that they think are missing could actually already be in custody
Exactly.
in local or state prisons and things like that, but
In
they have no way of
psychiatric
cross referencing.
hospitals.
So honestly, the number is just it's out of thin air. It's out of thin
But
air.
not to mention, when illegals come here, they don't come here with papers. So you don't know
Right.
who they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how are you going to say, oh, this guy was a murderer back wherever he came from, when they're not going to travel with papers? Because if they're traveling with their papers and you catch
That's
them
where
with
you
it, then
send
you
them back to.
automatically know that they're not from here, so you're going to send them back.
Man,
I know when I roll out this motherfucker, if I'm not driving, I don't have my driver's license on me.
Right.
So
right,
you
right,
want to
right,
stop
right.
me and just assume that I'm a murderer, just like you claiming that you're doing with these people? There's
Right.
no way for you to know that unless you caught them in the act of murdering somebody that was here. And I'm pretty sure we didn't have 16,000 murders from fucking illegals last year.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
So-
just all purely conjecture.
Yeah.
That's for answer.
So then, with that being said, I guess I get to say, Mr. Vance, you are a fucking dickhead. You are the dickhead of the fucking week for that. That shit's not right. Little kids be watching the debates
Yep.
and shit,
Yep.
and you telling them these lies, and then they thinking it's all these murdering motherfuckers running around some goddamn where. Ooh, All right, so
He's
anyway.
That's
running
why he
for
doesn't wanna
office.
be fact
He's
checked.
in office
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah,
So,
like
like,
that's
don't
crazy as
forget.
fuck too.
That's-
Like,
That's why he doesn't want to be fact checked. I mean, case in point, if you got somebody on the street you talking to, you know them, you know they lying, you call them out for lying. The first thing they do is get mad because you called them out for lying.
He ain't in the
Same
business
thing.
of facts.
right.
He's not in the business
Exactly.
of facts.
Yeah,
Facts,
see, and that's the thing. Like,
facts don't pay
I
the
don't even
bills
understand
on
why
that
the
side.
fuck they would allow a debate to go on
I
without
know.
fact
I
check.
know.
Like that's
Right,
bullshit.
right.
Like, you know what I'm
And
saying?
I-
You
I
wasting
did-
you
We
wasting
can get
everybody's
into how
fucking
the
time.
media is hounding these clowns, definitely, because
I'm sorry though, because I'm gonna
I'm
go back to
seeing-
school and get my journalism license.
I think it's
just-
we
important.
need real
I think it's
journalists.
important
We
to
need
point
real
out
journalist
also
sources. We need
that
journalism. We
again,
need hard
that
questions
Trump was
and
the one.
follow-up
yeah,
questions.
yeah.
How about that?
Trump
Let's
was
hear
the one that
that.
killed the bipartisan bill. Things could have been in motion. More resources could have been
Absolutely.
directed
Right.
there. So let's just not forget that.
Yeah, he
Also,
killed
I
the
think a
bipartisan
lot of
bill.
journalists are afraid to be that one that pushes back because then they're going to be the ones getting a death threat. Their family's going to be threatened. Like the Trump MAGA people go after everybody with such like violence that I think so many people feel a little bit more hesitant to maybe call things out. But I was impressed with the moderators of this debate. I think they did a really good job of like, actually, no, that's not true. And that's why Vance said that. Like, I didn't know it was going to be fact checked. Well,
You should have
right.
came here knowing you
Well,
should have
my
been telling the
point
truth.
is,
like, yeah,
If you're
like,
a
yeah.
fucking
Tell the truth,
dumbass,
you don't have to
say
worry
things,
about
right?
it.
Like,
Right. So, you know,
it's mind blowing that they didn't have a better choice for VP. Really, like,
Well,
Well,
I think what
he's
it was.
perfect.
They needed the puppet.
right.
Yeah,
He's
You
you
know,
know,
perfect for
Trump
what
wanted
they need.
somebody that
Exactly.
wasn't going to upstage him, and JD Vance just keeps fucking up. And by him fucking up, he's upstaging Trump. So,
Well, he's continuing
Yeah.
to
I mean,
use
I
the
think
same
it's-
narrative, the same
Yeah.
talking points,
Yeah.
just like he did. He's talking about Springfield, Ohio in the debate. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's just the same narrative.
and I mean, I think it's to the point
Fear
now where
mongering.
Trump is tired of his shit.
mhm.
Yeah.
Trump is like, your ass is in the news more than I am.
Uh-huh,
Like,
you
need
know
to sit
he
the
hates
fuck down.
that.
Yeah, he's saying some real crazy shit.
I think another big takeaway from it, obviously, was at the very end. I mean, you know, it was the decisive moment where kind of he got the dagger in his heart.
Yeah.
And they refused to acknowledge,
Yep.
you know, Trump in the election.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like that.
Right.
And he dodged it, but he didn't even dodge it smoothly. Like you could tell he was bothered.
Well, he
Uh-huh.
dodged it by going
Uh-huh.
back about you know, Kamala Harris trying to suppress people on the internet. I mean, come on, it's just everything that comes
Yeah,
out
he
is
was
just a
bothered.
It
false
was wild.
claim.
Yeah. I cannot believe that they're still sticking by that Trump didn't lose the election in 2020. Like, I cannot believe they're still sticking with that. Like,
They know damn well he lost. Yo, for some reason they
Well,
don't
I
want to
mean,
say that shit. Like,
it's a
what the
moot
fuck he
point
gonna
at this
do?
point. Like, what the fuck are we
Right.
going to do? Go back and put you in office because you think that you won in 2020? Like, stop talking about it.
exactly.
Focus on this election. Stop worrying about what the fuck happened in 2020 because we passed that. 4 years past that.
They
Exactly.
don't
Well,
want to
and
offend
I-
the base. They
and
don't
I-
want to offend the
yeah,
base.
Yep, exactly.
And he's a Trojan pig to the rest of them. He's not the guy they like. They hate him as much as we do. But he gave them the Supreme Court. He's
Yep.
given them things
Yep.
they want, and they know he'll do it again. He's a Trojan pig. They're all up inside,
Yep.
just
Yep.
getting through the gate with this
Yep.
guy. So why offend the base and say they lost?
Right.
You're not going to do it. And I saw it this morning on the morning talk show.
Really?
It was all
I haven't
right.
caught any of the news yet today.
Who were the two guys? I forget, Ian, that were on this morning that they asked them straight to their face. The Speaker of the House was one, straight to his face.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
Trump
Mike
lose
Johnson,
the election?
yeah.
Mike Johnson couldn't answer it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy as fuck.
And
then
the
the
thing
panel
is,
on this
when
one.
they refuse to answer it, it's not that they can't answer it because they don't have an answer. They can't. They won't answer it because they don't want to offend Trump because they know they still want to put position.
Hey guys, we had some technical difficulties. We apologize. We'll continue our conversation in a minute where we talk about misinformation surrounding the hurricane.
So stop impeding the efforts.
Right,
Bottom line, stop with your bullshit.
And stop like insulting the first responders who are showing up
Yo, that's
to like
bullshit and it's
but
disrespectful.
right, like now, so he's like goes after like the most hardworking people of our country. Like he goes after teachers, librarians, the post office, like the military, now first responders. Like Is there anything? Is there any group of people that he has yet to not attack?
Nothing's
Like,
off limits.
right?
And
like,
by the way, bless everyone who was affected by that hurricane. We are
right,
thinking about
red
you.
or
yes,
blue, right.
Yes.
Red or blue,
It's
yeah.
not
These are these times where those things don't matter. We're
Right.
neighbors and we're family.
Right.
And
Yep.
we're thinking about y'all. And my God, Virginia, we've seen it in Camille when in '69.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of insight of what you're going through and how shocking and how fast that can happen. And you're in a lot of our hearts here whose family
Yes,
went through
yeah.
that tragedy. And just know we're thinking about y'all.
Is there something else that's on the way as well?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
another one coming. So Florida, look out. It's so it's gonna be like a category 4 before it hits.
And how
on
long we got
Wednesday.
before that? On Wednesday. This Wednesday coming.
Wednesday. And
Son
there's
of
2 more
a
forming in
Yeah,
the
yep.
Atlantic.
I'll look at
All
that.
right, well, Ian,
More's coming.
why don't you go ahead and take us on into the next segment?
Well, we can talk about Eric Adams' indictment.
Oh,
You know, but
one of our own did something.
yeah, one of our own.
Oh,
And,
no.
you know, this kind of poses the question: why is it that Democrats are willingly able to go against people that commit corruption? Okay,
got
in their
to
own party,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and in both
Because we
parties.
have to.
Get you, man.
You look at the Republicans; they refuse to hold anybody
right.
accountable. You know, and that's the reality of it.
Good old boys.
I mean, but listen. Being from the guy that's not a Democrat here, okay. What did the brother? What did he do? I mean,
So
he
he
took foreign money.
basically
he did
yeah,
what?
Took
the money?
foreign money for his election.
He took foreign money.
From Turkey.
from Turkey. So they're
A lot of
looking at
money.
him.
Flights,
So it kind of
trips. Yeah.
all started.
Oh yeah, like
Was
lots.
he getting some though, or
Oh,
something?
yes.
Was
Well,
it?
man, he only flew like wouldn't fly first class. He would like take a flight, but it would just be like normal business class. And people were like, "Damn, why didn't you really milk it?" But it don't matter.
It was
why.
$12,000. Like those
Yeah, it
tickets
was-
were still
yeah, to
$12,000.
Turkey.
Yeah,
to Turkey.
like
He was flying.
What the
So
fuck was
he
doing in
also
Turkey?
has
Hanging out in the
another-
palace. He was like,
He also has a
Making friends.
fundraising
But he was-
person that was from the
oh.
Chinese community that kind of sparked the whole thing
Yeah.
off a year ago.
So let me
And
ask y'all
that's
this.
what drew the
though.
Right,
attention.
Well, let me
that's
say
right.
this. Let me say this shit then. Is he going to jail?
Absolutely.
Damn.
Nah.
Damn.
I don't understand how they can lock him up and you ain't lock Trump up for all the bullshit.
That's the point that I'm getting
So
at.
Only because
Yeah, I'm
the
playing the
Supreme
race
Court.
card.
now,
But it's my show when I do what I want
Hold
to.
on,
Is
hold
that
on,
I
hold
do
on.
what I'm playing the race card.
Mayors
Hold on,
aren't
Sean.
protected. Congressmen are protected. Presidents are protected.
For
Mayors are
sure.
not.
Mayors are not.
Now, this is something that Mayor Adams fucking pointed out, and I mean, it's controversial, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Feel how you want to feel about it. But he said it's an attack on black mayors right now
All right.
because he's
Yeah.
not the only one
Yeah.
that's been targeted.
Now,
Man,
that,
get
now
the
that's
fuck
not far,
outta
it's
here,
not
yo.
far fetched at all. But however, I did some
I
reading.
need
And
some
they
I need
do
some
this-
research on that.
They do this with every mayor. They did it to de Blasio. They did it. They've done it to all the mayors. They do campaign funding audits. So the only reason that
Well, it's hard to believe he
Adams
did it, man.
really
It's
got
like,
dragged
damn.
into it was because of one of his supporters triggered. There was a red flag on their end, and then that's when they confiscated his phone and they found further communication. So that's, well, of course,
Man,
it's
I done
alleged.
busted and
Alleged.
fucked my
We've yet to
phone
see
up.
the
We
evidence.
have not
We'll say
seen
that.
it.
We have
He's
yet to
still
see the
innocent
evidence.
until proven guilty. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it doesn't look good for him, though. You know, there's a number of things. They focus on Mayor Adams' fundraising with his Chinese community. Investigation into the NYPD involves police commissioner's brother. Apparently, he was a consultant in the nightlife industry.
Commissioner stepped down already, right? The police
Yeah,
commissioner.
he's the one that stepped down.
I bet you he
Investigation
fucking
into
did.
the deputy
Real
mayor for
fast.
public safety, man named Phil Banks. The relationship with Adams goes back decades, and apparently his the brother of the school's chancellor, another member of the same family, has represented businesses who have contracts with the city.
So a
So
bunch of
there's
New
a lot
York
of
shit.
conflict. of
So a bunch
interest
of New
going
York
on.
shit happening to a bunch of New York.
Exactly. Another day in New
It'd be
York.
like
That's
New
what it
Orleans.
sounds like.
New Orleans has the same.
Yeah.
No matter who comes in as mayor, it seems like the more fun
Damn.
they are and the bigger they smile, it's like, oh no.
And they're trying to dip themselves.
So we really can't
Sticks
talk
have
that shit
resigned.
because I mean we did have Marion Barry, so you
Yeah,
know
we did.
that's why I laid to the back with it. Like, what the brother really do?
Marion Barry did nothing wrong.
I mean, you know, he was
but
gonna
look-
get him some buns and he
just-
blasted off.
You're just getting high.
You know,
Well, so there's a good local story.
Oh,
I
man,
did
it
not
seems
read
so
it to
long
like
ago.
really get into it, but the town of Broadway, I think,
Oh,
locally
shit.
fired their chief of police or something. So like there is some like local drama too. It
Man,
doesn't
hold on,
happen
Broadway
just
actually had
in
police?
New
We'll
York
we'll have
City.
a show about local drama soon, guys.
That would be a fun one.
Yeah, oh God. We got a
So
perfect
I think
guest for
people
that.
can be
right? No
Believe-
doubts about it.
It'd be easily to think like, oh, that stuff only happens in the big city. No, that you know,
So the
corruption is
yeah,
everywhere.
absolutely.
Oh,
So yeah, Eric Adams is not it's not looking good for Eric Adams.
Well, Eric,
Yeah.
from myself, Sean G's over here at the Pot and Politics podcast. Brother, you fucked up. You screwed the pooch.
Man, you had all that power.
Come
You
on
just-
the show and tell us
man,
your side.
I used to like to see you come on the television because I was like, y'all, because look, he was
Yeah.
real smooth with his shit. You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
when he came out with the trash can.
You know what I'm saying? When he came out, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And then, but you fucked us. You just fucked us. See, that's the problem. We ain't got enough black leaders as is around this motherfucker. Then you start, what's next, man? Well, I mean, shit. What's
Oh, Obama's coming up next.
No,
They
stop.
Oh, no.
Denny. No.
got one in the pipe. God, man.
So he doesn't have a birth certificate.
all right.
Get ready going. How many city tour for fucking Kamala?
Yeah, like
They got something to pipe for old Barry.
Yeah, Bay Rock. He
I
gonna get
still
down.
believe. I still
But
believe.
anyway, so look,
Definitely.
y'all hold on to this thought, man. We're gonna take a real quick break and we be back soon, yo. Welcome back to the Pot and Politics podcast. Again, I am your host, Sean G's Waters. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I want everybody to come up with AKAs for next week because I got like a list of them shits and I'm gonna bust them down. It's gonna take a minute. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Am I the only one that caught the debate for actually our Senate race here in Virginia with Tim Kaine and what's the boy? The hung horse? Oh no, my bad. I mean hung cow. That's the name. Hung cow. Hung cow. That was it was real interesting.
Wow.
Mm.
I am shocked. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be shocked in the era of MAGA politics, but my jaw literally dropped to the floor watching some of that and hearing his statements. I was screaming at the television. I cannot believe that, I'm a huge fan of Senator Tim Kaine, and to think that this guy is running against Senator Tim Kaine, like,
That's crazy.
it's just like, really, Republicans? You couldn't find someone better than this guy?
It shouldn't even be close. Like this
I'm
is
sure it's not close.
yeah, because my only feeling is this:
2 weeks ago.
they have this man running for the simple fact that he's a veteran and he actually saw combat. Because
Yeah.
every answer that he had to talk about, it was referenced right back to him being in the military. Like he said that so many damn times. Like,
Yeah.
we get that. And I appreciate it. You know, if you went over there and you almost got your ass blown off, thank you.
What branch?
Because I didn't.
Navy.
Really?
20 Navy.
Was he fucking a SEAL? Because
No.
No, I
Okay,
mean,
so
he was
let's
talking about
clarify
this
that.
shit like he was in combat.
if he was in combat in the Navy means your ass was sitting out at fucking sea on a ship and you were fucking logistics. You weren't in combat as a Navy. Unless he was a corpsman. If he was a corpsman, I give him his prop. He might have did
Hey,
some shit.
look, I don't know, and I can't speak on it. I'm just speaking on how he was talking like matter of fact-ish because of this shit.
Yeah.
I am this.
I was just
Well, unless
shocked
his name starts with Doc, I don't buy shit that he was saying.
Yes, he's Navy. He was a special operations officer, explosive ordnance disposal, and deep sea diving for the United States Navy
Ooh.
Academy. He is a refugee from
Okay,
Vietnam
that's
in
the academy.
1975. After a few years in West Africa, Hung moved to Virginia as a child and is a proud member. Oh, he's an immigrant.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah,
An
and
immigrant.
that was his thing too. Like he was getting down on the illegal immigrants.
Right.
First, and let me say this is my personal thought. All right, if you're not Native American or African American, you're a fucking immigrant here.
That's right.
Accept that shit.
Right.
You ain't gotta like what I said, but it's the fucking truth.
Honestly,
it's
if you go
a scientific
far
fact.
enough, if you're
It's
white,
science.
you're an immigrant here too.
It's science.
I mean, let's just be real. You're an immigrant here. If you
that's
don't,
exactly
if you're
what
not
I
Native
just said.
American
Yeah, that's
or
what-
South American or
African.
Canadian, I don't know what to tell you. You are even Canadians. If you're white Canadian, you're an immigrant.
So,
These
but
are
how?
seeds,
Like
these
that's
are
what I don't
stolen
understand. Like
lands.
because in
Stolen
his
lands.
voice when he was speaking on it, like it sounded like it even came from a place of hate. You know what I'm saying? Like he felt the type of way about these fucking people. Like,
Right.
do you think people aren't just trying to fucking come here because it's the cool fucking thing to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, shit here ain't fucking sweet.
Right.
And that's what's fucked up
Right.
because they run from whatever fucked up situation they was
Exactly.
in. And then they get here and they learn, damn, the
Right.
American dream ain't that fucking sweet for real.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Damn, everybody else
Now,
is looking forward too.
I'm glad that I live here. Don't
Right,
get me
right.
twisted. And for any of you motherfuckers right now that's listening, telling me to go the fuck back to Africa, buy my fucking ticket for me, bitch. Now, how about
First thing
that?
smoking,
Buy the
but-
fucking
But
ticket.
even with this, when you say that you don't like the direction that America's going, and if Trump loses the election, you moving out of America and you moving somewhere else, that would essentially make your dumb ass refugee.
Oh.
Make sure you pay
Oh.
attention to what you're saying and what you're fighting against, because you're contradicting yourself.
Mm.
Plus,
So-
those doors aren't just open out there. Look into it. It's expensive. If you can find countries that actually let Americans move there, it costs a whole lot of money, and you have to have you have to prove value to the country.
Now-
you have to have either some kind of educational value, some kind of a work value. I mean, you can go on a work visa and then just overstay your visa, I guess. But
Nah,
But
because
then
they
again,
come
you'd
get
be
your
doing the
ass.
same thing that everybody's
Yeah,
coming
they-
here that you
yeah,
claiming that
yeah.
they're doing that you don't like.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
make sure you pay attention to what you goddamn arguing against and what you actually want, because it's contradicting itself.
Fucking nuts, man. Like,
Right.
I don't, that shit just, it kills me. Like, because I like to go to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, after they realize that I'm not Dominican and I don't understand the Dominican and Mexican shit, but for some reason, the Mexican dudes don't like Dominicans. And
Yeah, because
that's their
Dominicans are
thing.
black.
Yeah, well, shit.
Dominicans are black.
Oh,
I don't give a
absolutely.
fuck what you think. I don't care what
Absolutely.
you think.
So it's Puerto Ricans.
Goddamn you,
and
your
they
Roscoe
just got off the
motherfucker, you
fucking,
black.
they got off the boat before us. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
You was just the first stop in
So,
the slave trade.
Yeah, but once they realize that, like, I'm American black, you know what I'm saying? They good with me. I like going to Mexico. Like, if I was over there and they was thinking, like, this motherfucker want to come over here and, well, all I want to do is smoke their weed, you know, because some of the weed is all right. They tried to sell me some black weed one time. I didn't buy that shit, though.
Mm.
But, yeah, I ain't never smoked no black weed before. That shit kind of fucked me up. I didn't smoke that shit. But I like to smoke their weed and go to the dentist. And nah, bro, this shit right here, that's like a purplish. I'm talking about this shit
It
was
has the
black.
potential.
The entire bud.
It's
Do you know what
possible.
I'm saying?
It's possible.
I'm not smoking that shit.
Why not?
Why
wanna try it?
would I?
I promise. I'll make you a promise. I will grow that shit for you, and I'll bring it.
there we go.
Well, see, this is the thing. I can hold you fucking accountable.
Well,
Like,
right,
if I smoke
right.
some of your black weed and I fall out and
yeah,
die,
yeah.
they're gonna find these two dudes are gonna. Well, he's gonna find you. He's gonna fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Black
I'll
weed
say-
might
I'll
be
say
something
this.
That's what I'm
completely
saying. And I was in Tijuana by myself too. Like, nah, I'm not smoking this.
I'll say this, and
Give me
I'll
this
shut
green
up.
shit. We'll smoke this.
Exactly.
I love this story though. At the last Growers Club that we had in Lexington at Blue Ridge Taps, it's an awesome spot. I was gifted a pheno hunted pure black purple, and I've got photos of the mother plant. It's a Zion Train X5.
So it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Okay, but see, this is
I
the
mean, it's
thing.
possible.
He can explain it to me.
Yes.
Right,
Boy
right.
in front of the strip club was just like, I don't $10, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Next time.
and then I'm
Next
sitting,
time.
and then I'm thinking like this. All right, these two motherfuckers is together, but as soon as it came down to who weed I was gonna buy, they split apart real quick. And homeboy with the green weed was looking at me like, look. You done seen what I got. You might want to smoke this shit, or you can smoke what homeboy got. So you know what I'm saying. I
Your
smoke,
chances.
yeah, you know I smoke the green shit.
Scared the poor man.
So yeah, old Hung Cow, man, he
that
was way
dude's
out of
wild.
line on immigration. But another place he is out of line is who can and who can't be in the military.
Oh my gosh.
Let me
Those answers were so offensive. Like, they're talking about low military recruitment, and then he goes and dishonors.
something that's at a pretty
Is
low
he
right
even
now.
rich
I mean,
enough to like dead ass? Is he even rich enough to be racist? And
that's hilarious.
that type of shit.
That's hilarious, man, because there is so many different levels between poor races and rich
For
races.
sure, yeah.
No, it's like this. Like for
Power
like a
changes
black man
everything,
like
I
me,
think.
I get to the money, but don't have enough money to be racist.
Exactly,
So at
man.
best, I could be prejudiced.
You mean you can
because I don't.
segregate yourself from other people? Damn,
That's
you
that's
must
the
be
best
rich.
I can do.
Right.
You
You
must
know what I'm
be
saying? Because
rich.
I don't have enough money to oppress another
I
man.
can't even get away from
You
the
feel me?
assholes, let alone start choosing colors.
Right.
Give
So,
me a break.
but
man.
this motherfucker, I mean, just the way that
Well, let
he
me
was
read his
just
quote.
yeah,
'Cause this
please.
is, this
Let's
is
do
what
that.
we're
Let's
referring
do
to.
that, and I can
It's
shut the fuck
horrible.
up.
When you're using, this is a direct quote from him during the debate.
Answering what the reason behind low military recruitment. This is his answer.
Yeah. And when it comes to low military recruitment in Virginia, when you're using a drag queen to recruit for the Navy, that's not what people want. Cal said after he was on the issue. What we need is alpha males and alpha females who are going to rip out their own guts, eat them, and ask for seconds. Those are the young men and women that are going to win wars.
Wow.
That's a huge assumption about a man that would dress up as a woman as not being able to kick your ass or rip your fucking guts out. Because,
Right.
I think maybe you haven't met many drag queens.
And like you said earlier, like so many drag queens had to fight for their lives, so they can probably kick your ass.
Yeah, they spent their whole lives
are you
fighting.
But I
kidding
mean,
me?
More than likely,
even
they spent their whole
that
lives
whole
fighting.
statement is just it's I mean, it's
Right.
daggone trying to speak a narrative that isn't really a thing, because drag queens don't walk around and drag all day,
Right.
every day.
And they're not
They
on the
do
battlefield.
something else.
On the
Right.
battlefield,
And
they're
please
totally
believe
not
me,
gonna
I
do it.
mean, I seen a bunch of drag queens in my day, and them some big motherfuckers.
You're
So,
right,
and,
most of
and,
them.
and
There's
I
so
know
many small
two
men.
that'll smack the shit
I
out
do
your
too,
ass
and we'll
and
slide
put
you.
your goddamn top lip on
And
your
we'll-
chin
and
and
we'll
your bottom
slide you.
lip on your fucking
Hell
nose.
yeah,
So
hell yeah.
you might actually want a couple of them, because they do tend to get fucking rowdy.
Absolutely. I think the biggest point is that they're Americans and they are tax-paying Americans and they live here. And if they want to fight and defend this nation,
Right.
what the fuck do you care what they do in their off time? And you shouldn't care what they could dress up as anything in this world.
Right.
And you should thank them for wanting to give their time, their life, and
Exactly.
their blood, and you should thank their
Yes.
families.
Yes.
The end of sentence. End of discussion.
Right.
And for him to have been in the military and then to judge people
Right.
for that is pretty low. And I'm sure that a lot of military
And
cats don't
especially
like
when
that.
there are
Yeah.
so many
Come on.
LGBTQ community people in the military serving
Exactly.
right now. How
Exactly.
dare you? Like,
Two
That's
other
just
quick
crazy.
things
Hold on.
that came out of Cal, just on what he claimed. He claimed that Kane had a 99% failure.
Yeah, he
rate
said that several
when it comes to
times.
passing bills, with only 3 bills allegedly passed out of 220 bills. Of course, Kane denied it, but what he did was he said it just shows the weird factor again. He says there are two truths in the world: never walk into a Target store wearing a red shirt, and never go against an Asian when it comes to math.
To math.
You know,
yeah.
it's just like,
I remember that.
not only was it racist against his own kind,
Right.
but it just shows the level of weirdness that's going on
Right.
in that party. The other thing was they were talking about there's 1 million Virginians that owe a collective $43 billion in federal student debt. So they asked how he would help Virginians,
yeah.
ease the burden. And his answer was to directly ask Kane why he had not done anything while he was in office. So again, that just demonstrates there's no policies that
Right.
are ever put forward.
Right.
It's just some kind of line
For
of
any of
direct
these, right,
attack on
right.
somebody.
All
It's
right.
like
Whether
a
it's
response.
Trump, whether it's Vance, whether it's Cow,
So-
it's always just like
Well, here's where I crash out.
deflect. Yeah.
Here's where I crash the fuck out. So let me get this straight. Let me go back to this to the drag queens that he's talking about, right? I look at it like this. Like I said, you can call me a punk if you want to, because I didn't enlist in shit. And from senior year, like I said, one of my best friends, he went to the Marines. He tried to get me to go to fuck with him, and I told this nigga, I'm not the fuck going. No hard feelings, but I'm a punk. That's why I'm not the fuck going nowhere.
And just to clarify who he talking about me.
I'm talking about the Rock. Goddamn right. I'm talking about the Rock. We've been close friends for 30 fucking years plus. 30 fucking plus, but I was not the fuck going. So, and the point that I'm making on this, you piece of fucking shit. I don't give a fuck if he's a fucking drag queen, tranny. I don't give a fuck if he's from Mars. Anybody that was willing to go on that line and take that bullet for me, I'm applauding you. Thank you. You can go back over there again and again and again if you want to. I'm not going. He's a dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, add him to my hate list, matter of fact. Add him to the.
Yeah.
Don't put him under Candace, but you can put him under Donald's bitch ass. Put him under him.
Hopefully he's gone soon.
Faggot.
'cause Kane,
Fat head. Fucking. Ooh.
Kane is an asset to our state. He always has been. There's a
Absolutely.
reason he was chosen to run as vice
Right.
president.
Good.
And yeah, I have all the confidence in the world with him. And yeah, we're huge fans here.
And we're pushing to have him on the show, so make sure y'all
Come
show
see
y'all
us.
support so we can actually.
That'll be
get
happening
that
Send him a
soon.
message.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, we have come to the end. All of my friends. I'm gonna let everybody get their clothes in peace, because ain't no telling what the fuck I'm getting ready to say. Christian.
Well, yeah, it was a very busy week. I'm sure that this week won't be any different. We're down to how many days now? 30 days
Yeah.
until
like that.
election day. Like we always say, get out to vote. I think there's only one more day left to register or something. It's you probably missed your window on that one. So hopefully check your registration, make sure it's all good. You don't want to find out when you go to vote that it's not good. Vote early if you're nervous. You know, the polling places right now are chill. If you're, things could get a little weird. Like I said before, I'm going from what you hear in predictions. Folks are in their corners. So, yeah, vote and, yeah, have a great week.
We're up.
When I was a kid growing up, my grandma used to always tell me this saying that she always used, and to this day, I'm not quite sure I understand what it means, but I know what it means to me. She used to tell me, "Don't take no wooden nickels."
Goddamn right. That's a Sign Your Words
Don't
classic
take no
too.
wooden nickels. To me, that means make sure what somebody is giving you is
Mm.
the fucking truth. If it ain't the fucking truth, hey, leave that shit where it's at. You can't make 5 cents out of goddamn wood. I don't give a fuck who you are. You ain't Jesus. You ain't tapping trees and making damn coins fall out. So yeah, that's all I got. Make sure you fucking goddamn pay attention to what you're being told. And if you ain't sure, research it.
Patrick.
Thank you. All I ask is that you please hit up your local, state, and Fed reps and just complain. Tell them that the HSA decision in this latest lottery, like what I try to help explain here, I'm too long-winded to get through it all the way. But truly, it's because of it's not, it's not anything conspiracy. Probably it's just like probably an honest fuck up. But the people need to know what the mistake was. Because I think there is a movement about trying to get more local people involved. Like, we don't need all these out-of-state operators. I'm not saying they don't have the right to come into the state by any means, because in the end, the shit that makes the stuff fucking fire is good genetics. And y'all, we've all been, or most of us have been smoking the stuff that I've read and some of our other, great Virginia breeders, and we're having an amazing time. Truly.
Virginia, you're doing it.
Truly, man. Let's make shit work, and let's make it easier for people like me and Christian and everybody who wants to do rec grows. Come on, man. 4 plants, we can do more than that shit. Way more.
I can smoke that. All right, Ian.
Yeah.
I would just say, every week we try to debunk, the rumors and misinformation, disinformation. But just be, vigilant with what you're reading. Do your research, make sure it's factual sources that you're getting it from. And we are in a crucial time right now, so pay attention to what's going on.
Lady Jennifer.
Yeah. Hope you all have a good week. If you don't know what your registration status is, you can still just go vote. If there's any question, they'll just put it in the provisional ballot and they'll figure it out later, but your vote will count. So you can do same day registration. So you can walk into the registrar's office and register and then vote. So do whatever you need to do to just get to the registrar's office and make your vote count, because it is really going to come down, especially the local elections. We've got city council and school board in Waynesboro, so we've got great candidates. So get out there and support your local candidates as well as our federal and just federal.
And as far as for me, I'd like to again thank Patrick for coming on the show and spreading that good wisdom that he had to put out here for y'all. And I really ain't got much right now. Check the snap. I'm going back on the road tomorrow. Where I'm gonna end up at, y'all know it. I'm gonna be somewhere smoking good though. You know this. So until next week, you know what I'm saying? Candace Owens, you are still a very rotten bitch. You are a rotten bitch. And I ain't got nothing else to talk at y'all about, but I'm gonna tell y'all what, one thing's for sure and two things for certain. I'm gonna tell y'all about it. Peace.